My name is Daniel Satoué. I'm working for the County Council of Bages in Catalonia. And I'm today pleased to be here to present the very preliminary results of the initial stages of implementation of a local travel plan network in an industrial site located in the Bages County. And I will also talk a little bit about the challenge we have been facing related to the economic downturn in our country, affecting especially to the industrial sector. So, let me start with the location of the site. A group of industrial estates, known collectively as Santana Industrial Area, has been selected as the Spanish pilot site for the implementation of a local travel plan network as a result of the TravelPlanPlus project. This is an area close to the city of Manresa, to the south, which is the capital of Bages County. It's located in the center of Catalonia, and the site is located 65 kilometers to the north of Barcelona. And it's also located between two small towns. This is from one side, Santpedor to the north, and Sant Fruitós de Bages to the southeast of the site. Each of which small towns have around 7,000 inhabitants. You can see that this site is close to the one important intersection of two main highways. It's the C25 and the C16C. The C25 highway goes from the east to the west of the country, and the C16 highway goes from north to south, from the French border to Barcelona. Each of these ways are connecting a number of Catalan counties as they travel through the region, and these connections offer a quick and effective access to the LTPN by car, drivers and passengers. The site covers an area of 12 square kilometers and is occupied by 15 different industrial estates. There are around 500 companies with around 6,000 employees. Companies are mostly small to medium-sized enterprises. The average number of employees per company is just 12. And we have 10 companies with more than 100 employees. We have also to mention that the average distance to work home for employees at the site is 10 kilometers. You can see that it's not a long trip in general. Well, you can see that the majority of the companies also are of this area are manufacturing products for the industrial sector. Most of them supply car manufacturers, producing a wide range of car components: vehicle chassis, electronic car devices, mechanical components, and also car seats. This picture shows the company producing car seats. Well, talking a little bit about the access to the site, we can see that in the LTPN area there are many bus services in operation. But unfortunately, in general, these services don't offer a good geographical coverage of the area. You can see on the blue circles are the coverage of this on one of these lines. You can see the yellow part of the map that are the industrial estates. You can see that most of them are out of the range of the coverage of each of bus stops, of the main bus stops. Most of the bus stops are located far from the companies, from one side, and services don't cater for demand, as mentioned, as connections with Manresa and Pedol, where the most employees are living and services are not available. We have some bus stops located near to the LTPN area with shelters and also with pedestrian bridges. And these facilities provide a good access to the industrial estates. However, the bus timetables are not adjusted to the shifts of the workers employed at the site. Furthermore, access for pedestrians and cyclists is unsatisfactory. There is a lack of safe, well-defined paths linking the residential areas to the industrial sites. As a consequence of what is discussed here, 98% of commuter trips are made by car. Access to the site makes almost impossible for a person without car access to get a job with one of the companies within the LTPN area. Despite the challenges in getting to and from the sites and traveling around the LTPN, until recently, employee mobility problems have not been a real concern for the employers, and just few companies at the site provide a company bus service for employees. Currently, the economic crisis is affecting most of the companies in the site. Remember that most of the companies are related to the car industry. And you can see a large number of empty warehouses which are for sale and to let. We have one street with more than 12 warehouses with this kind of signs to let. Right? And the fall in demand for these premises also means that some new warehouses remain unfinished, as you can see on the bottom of this picture. So now employers are placing even less emphasis on mobility issues, and encouraging them to prioritize this is a challenge. Let's say that companies are more worried about to survive than on mobility issues. So, in order to approach the companies in an effective way and raise their interest in participating in an LTPN, Bages County Council developed a strategy based on a campaign to provide free mobility audits. Well, what is a mobility audit? Mobility audit is that. You can see that. Consisted on personal interviews with the human resources department or general managers at the largest companies. This raises awareness on the mobility problems and collected basic information about the company and its employees, including how employees travel to work, where they live, and all this information was diagnosed to develop a mobility proposal at a company level, but also at LTPN area level. For example, a new bus service, it's a global measure, not a local one. In total, we made it work for 11 companies, the largest one on the site. These companies account for more than 2,000 employees. Well, you can see that it's quite time-consuming, but also comprehensive work. It includes some parts related to general accession to the area, and also the bus access to the bus services covering the area, GIS mapping of some postcodes, an estimation on the model shift, and I think it's quite satisfied to do that. Well, the thing is, what happens after the presentation of these audits? Well, I think that's the most important result, that we can come out with several proposals. For example, improvement of two bus services, proposals of new bus roads, schedule changes, proposals of construction of new pedestrian and cycling paths, promotion of individual measures, for example, green parking. Green parking is one application you can see at the bottom of this picture, applied by one of the companies of the site, who provides parking or preference or priority parking spaces, painted in green, for car pullers. We also promote vamping schemes. Well, finally, all this strategy, we think that proved to be useful to encourage companies to join the local travel plan network and to jointly submit mobility proposals to local and regional authorities for the implementation of LTPN measures in the short term. Well, let me show the last picture. This is the launching meeting of LTPN we held last week. Let me tell you that it has a remarkable media coverage. You can see an article on a local newspaper highlighting that it was the first time at county level that politicians, trade unions, and companies meet together to solve mobility, to discuss and solve mobility problems in industrial states. Well, from this very, very initial stage, we can get some preliminary conclusions. First one is it's difficult to engage companies in the LTPN when they have other priorities, maybe related to the economic crisis. Second point, that the inspiration from energy audits, because some years before we were involved in energy audits, and we felt that it was a good methodology to raise awareness of the companies on some issues. Allow us to define the method of mobility audits, which is an innovative way to engage companies and raise awareness. And let me also add that the communication for us is a key issue for involving all stakeholders in an LTPN. Okay, that's all. Thank you.